I'm taking a cold plunge every day for the next 30 days. Why? The people that regularly do cold plunges are really passionate about their cold plunges.
Once you get into cold plunging, it's the most addicting thing ever.
Basically, a cold plunge is just submerging yourself in really cold water for a few minutes. However, I don't have one of those like specific cold plunge tubs that keep it all nice and cool that you usually keep outside. I also don't have a membership to like a gym or a wellness facility that offers cold plunging and saunas and stuff like that. So I'm testing it at home. Every day I'll fill my bathtub with the coldest water possible that the faucet will give me and add a bunch of ice packs to it. I don't really want to fill it with a ton of ice every single day because that would be really annoying and would just waste even more water, and I'm already filling the tub every single day, you know? So ice packs it is. Still a good way to try to get it even colder. I'm able to get the bathtub just below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which actually some studies suggest that 50 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 15 degrees Celsius is an optimal temperature range for cold plunges focused on reducing muscle soreness. And it says don't attempt to go below 39 degrees Fahrenheit because obviously with super cold water there is potential risks and scary things that can happen. My plan is to stay in the tub for 3 minutes every single time. If you look up the optimal time length for a cold plunge, so many different sources say 2 to 3 minutes. So I start the timer, I hop in, and then I stay in until the timer goes off. Besides the time length and the temperature, I didn't really research anything else before starting this because I wanted to kind of go in blind for my own opinions, my own judgment, and have kind of no pre-judgment, nothing that's gonna sway my opinions, anything like that. That was the longest 3 minutes, but we did it. The most beneficial part of cold plunges is that they reduce the degree of exercise-induced muscle damage that can occur after physically challenging activities. Honestly, today was easier, and it's only day 2. I ordered more ice packs to make it colder. We have 10 of these, and 2 of these. So less damage leads to less inflammation, which then reduces soreness and helps restore your physical performance for the next day. It's only day 3 of doing this, and it's already gotten so much easier. And I did not expect that at all. I get out of the sauna. For a second, I'm like, oh, cold water will feel good. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be so cold, I don't wanna do it. But then I do it, and I'm like, this is literally not that bad. So far, it's only gotten easier by the day. So it really aids in recovery. The reason this works is because there's rapid constriction of your blood vessels due to the cold water, and the cold can trigger responses in your body like decreased metabolic activity, alterations in hormone production and blood flow, and activation of the immune system. The worst part about it is basically just that it's cold and obviously uncomfortable. You know, like nobody wants to just go sit in a freezing tub. Apparently, a lot of people report becoming more comfortable and tolerant of the cold with regular exposure. However, you do have to be careful. Like I said, don't go somewhere super cold and stay in it too long because there's risk of things like frostbite, hypothermia, etc. Be careful, always be careful. Today's cold plunge definitely seemed more challenging and just harder than normal, but I am on my period and I wonder if there's a correlation or if I'm just extra sensitive today. I don't know. One major thing I found out that I had no idea this could be a thing is that cold plunging post strength training can actually hinder your muscle growth potential. This might seem super obvious, but the cold plunge is so much easier to do if I'm coming directly from the sauna or like somewhere really hot. For example, today I was in my sauna blanket and I took like a 10-15 minute break in between the two where I normally only take like a 1 or 2 minute break just to let the tub finish cooling, and it was much harder because like my body temperature started adjusting back down after being so sweaty in the sauna, so it just like felt, I don't know, like obviously when you're really hot you crave getting really cold, so that's a tip I guess to being able to tolerate them better is get a sauna blanket or go to a facility that has both. I don't know, something like that. The explanation is basically that it kind of turns down in your body the signal that is activated after exercise. So it might hinder long-term improvements in strength, muscle growth, and performance. It's a Sunday, it's a rest day, so like I didn't work out today. I just jumped in the sauna, not even post-workout, but just to like sweat it out, and then immediately went into the cold plunge, and I'm feeling amazing. Like I could have stayed in there longer. I even forgot to press the timer before I hop in. I usually press the timer and then jump in, but I was like in there and I was like, oh shoot, like the timer. It felt good. But this only goes for weightlifting and resistance training. Doing cardio is completely unrelated to this and doesn't have the same negative consequences. I honestly do wish I could make the water colder so that I could have more of a challenge, but right now that just doesn't seem to be in my resources. It seems like I'm really just like using too much water every day, so I'm like, do I really want to like throw in ice on top of that? I don't know. I read a study that had 2 groups of people, one doing cold plunges post-exercise, and it followed them for 12 weeks, measuring their muscle mass, and it found that cold water immersion did reduce the long-term gains in muscle mass and strength. It also did more, but we're not gonna get super technical. And this is only one study. Of course, if you really wanna dive deep into this, you have to consider multiple different ones in order to like really judge for yourself, like, hey, should I be doing this post-workout? Hey, should I not? However, for this reason, people that, you know, their goal is strength and muscle growth, they might do cold plunges before working out. Cold plunges not only are supposed to aid in recovery, but obviously they wake you up, you know? Like if you jump into something freezing cold, like you're gonna become alive really, really quick. They could give you that little rush or adrenaline or pick-me-up that you need before going into your workout. So you could do cold plunges before, or you could just save them for cardio and rest days. During this little trial and experiment, because I went in blind, I did weightlifting, I would do the sauna, then I would go into the cold plunge. So I definitely wasn't waiting a super long time after weightlifting to do the cold plunge, which moving forward, I'm not gonna do that routine anymore. I also read that if you do cold plunges after exercising, again, if you have goals of strength improvements, muscle growth, things like that, it's best to wait a minimum of 4 hours after lifting to do a cold plunge. And Andrew Huberman recommends, hey, just save it for cardio day, save it for rest day, which makes sense. For me, it's like, I don't really want to play around with it, and I want to have the best performance possible in the gym, and this is great for recovery, but if I just save it for the days that I'm not lifting, like, that works for me. I don't really want to do anything that could hinder muscle growth when it's already hard enough to try growing muscle. And if you are trying or you have done it, like, you know it's hard, right? It matters what you eat. It matters how you work out. It matters the frequency, the intensity. Like, so many things matter just to try to put muscle on your body that, like, I'm just not trying to mess with it and make it harder for my body. So my thoughts and findings, yes, it really wakes you up. It's a good rush. It's kind of a fun feeling. Maybe not fun. It's uncomfortable. But you know what I think? Like, it is good to be uncomfortable and make yourself do things that make you feel uncomfortable, because you grow more when you do more things that are uncomfortable and not usual and not normal to you. However, I felt like I got used to it so quick. Just a few days in a row, I would get in and I'm like, hey, I can do this. Like, this isn't that bad. Whereas the first day, it felt so cold and it felt so long. As the days went on, it felt warmer to me and it felt shorter, just because I was getting used to it. Obviously, it was way easier to do if I came directly from the sauna. Some days I would time it out perfectly where the bath would turn on the perfect amount of time before my sauna session ended and I would hop in, but some days I'd have a wait period in between. And during the wait, obviously my body would start cooling down from the sauna, then I'd get into the cold plunge and it would be a little more difficult. I really do want to keep this part of my routine moving forward, but I will adjust it with this research and these findings, right? I'll save it for rest day. I'll save it for cardio day. And if I've learned anything from Atomic Habits, it's that if you want to incorporate a new habit in your lifestyle, you have to make it easy and you have to make it convenient. If it's not easy or convenient, you know, if you have to do all this work to put something together and get something ready that you already don't want to do, it's just so much easier to skip and a higher chance that you're not going to do it, right? So you have to make it easy and convenient, and just don't give yourself an option to say no. That being said, filling my tub and putting ice packs in it every single day kind of felt wasteful, kind of felt annoying. And I just don't really have the space right now to purchase a cold plunge tub and like keep it outside and stuff like that. So an alternative for me might be a 2 to 3 minute freezing cold shower. Maybe you're not technically submerged, but the cold water on you can mimic the feeling, and it's, you know, almost the same thing in my head. So if you want to do something like this that's hard and that's uncomfortable, you have to do your best to make it easy and make it convenient so you have less options and less choice and less of a chance to just say no and not do it. Again, great finding from Atomic Habits. In the future, like, I would love to buy one of those tubs and stuff when I have a house or something like that. So I'll keep that in mind when the day comes. And I honestly think a tub or something like that where you're just jumping in and then you get out is an easier feeling than the shower. Because like the shower, since it's a stream, you can like hop out of it, or like, I don't know, I just feel like there's more room for error, but that is just more like appropriate in my environment, I feel like. And I don't really want to waste a whole bathtub of water every single day is my other thought. Something I really felt and could notice is like you jump in and obviously you're uncomfortable, you're trying to like conserve your energy, get warm, so your body tenses up, but then every time you like slowly move your body, a rush of cold like gets in you. I don't really know how to explain it, but you would know what I'm talking about if you've done it, right? Like you're so still, and the temperature kind of is adjusting, you're like doing okay. You're trying to like breathe slowly to like calm yourself down. Then if you move, it's like cold again, cold. Like all that time you just felt built up, getting comfortable and getting warm, it just got cold again. Very interesting to me. Just like adjusting your body position, things like that. Like a new freezing wave. Also, my hands and feet were kind of tingly. Like getting out of it, I would stop my alarm and then I would kind of like sit up using my hands to push myself up, and they always felt really tingly. I don't know, that was something I noticed. Overall, this was honestly kind of fun, and I've done a handful of cold showers in the past, but I've never committed to like, okay, ice bath 30 days in a row, like we're gonna do it, whatever. I didn't realize how much easier it would get, and that just gives me motivation and like hopes to continue doing stuff like this in the future. And if it aids in recovery, great. But honestly, I think my favorite part of it was just doing something that's uncomfortable. And obviously it did feel really good coming from the sauna, but now after doing it, reading the research, I kind of know how to rework it in my schedule. And you know, sometimes the order and the frequency of how you do things like this really do matter. So if you have muscle growth goals, keep these things in mind. If you don't, maybe you are a runner or something, it doesn't affect you as much. So then, you know, go at it whenever. I do think it helps a lot with soreness. I've been following a workout plan like to a T, and I've been lifting as heavy as I can and like really pushing myself, and I really do believe that. And I really have felt pretty recovered day to day. Of course, how you sleep, what you eat, all of that stuff does come into play, but I haven't had many sore days, and I like to think that the ice baths help. I've been done with the ice baths for about a week, and yesterday I did chest and tris, and I actually woke up really sore this morning. I definitely pushed it pretty hard, like I challenged myself, but no harder than I normally go in the gym. Like I really try to pay attention to that stuff. So I am thinking that the ice baths really, really do help with soreness, because I haven't woken up sore in a long time, and I've been following the same like structured program for a while now, so that is proof. Like my chest, my arms, even my shoulders, like they're sore. That is a very telling thing for me, at least, about the cold plunges, is that they really help with soreness. It is the next morning, and I just want to emphasize how sore I am today. Now from a different workout. Yesterday I did glutes and quads, and I am literally so sore. Like I did not expect the ice baths to essentially take all of my potential soreness away for a whole month, because like I said, I was not sore at all last month. Twice this week already. This is my first off week not doing the ice baths at all. Like I haven't done one yet, because I'm trying to like, you know, make observations and compare. I was so sore earlier when I talked to you from chest and tris. Now I wake up after yesterday was glutes and quads, and I'm like, I don't want to bend down. Like everything is just so sore. And like I said, the intensity, I swear I've been keeping the intensity the same. Like I've not changed my gym habits and strategies. So like the magic that is ice baths with soreness, I would have never known. This is insane. Although remember, be careful of timing it out for your muscle growth goals and gains and all that. I also really noticed, so one big thing is that cold plunging reduces inflammation in your body. I really felt that instantly. Like I feel like I would get out of the tub and I just felt like way less inflamed, because when you work out, you do kind of get inflamed, you puff up, you have, I don't know, like working out and exercising builds inflammation. That's just natural, that's normal, like that's supposed to happen. And so then I'd get out of the ice bath and I felt like it was completely taken away. And again, that's not necessarily the right order to do things depending on your goals, but I definitely felt the reduced inflammation part. Like that, very, very true. And it was a good feeling to like get out of this tub and be like, wow, I don't feel bloated. Like I don't feel all puffy. Like I just feel good and chipper and new and like light, and I don't know. It's nice. It's refreshing. It's good. So moving moving forward, there's definitely adjustments to be made, but otherwise, I like this habit and I want it to be one that sticks around, whether it comes in that form or maybe a different form like the showers, right? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you do cold plunges. Like I said, people are so passionate about them. Like, do you do them? What do you feel? What are your thoughts? What's your stance? What's your opinion? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you in my next one.